Hello students, welcome back. Today we will study a new poem, Animals, composed by Walt Whitman. This is for standard 10th. It is from our book First Flight. So let's know about the poet Walt Whitman. 1819 to 1892. He was born in what was then rural Brooklyn, New York City, and he was the second of 9 children. His father was a carpenter and farmer, and his mother was a Quaker. So, Walt Whitman was an American poet, essayist, and journalist. Walt Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon, often called the father of free verse. So, Walt Whitman is known as the father of free verse, and his mother was a Quaker, and Quaker here means a member of Religious Society of Friends. So, that is all about the poet Walt Whitman. Move to the poem. So here students, many animals are before you. You can see the different types of animals, and also you can identify these animals because in a previous two poems you had studied related to animals, and you know how can you identify them. Move to the poem, Animals. Animals. Here, the poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans, whom he finds complicated and false. So, here the poet finds humans as complicated and false as compared with animals. For him, animals are very simple, very placid, very self-reliant, and truthful rather than humans. So let's start. Read the paragraph. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and content. I stand and look at them long and long. Here, turn means transform, to move towards the animals. Here, the poet wants to move towards the animal and to live among animals. Here, so placid means so calm, and self-content means self-satisfied. And here the poet says that he wants to live in the world of animals. Here we can say that the poet finds the world of animals better than that of human beings. So he further says that he finds animals more peaceful, more placid, more self-satisfied than humans. He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. So, about the animals, the poet here says that they are calm and have no greed for worldly things or any kind of achievement. They are self-content, means they are happy with life and never interfere in the lives of others. And humans, on the other hand, have the habit of interfering in the lives of others. Understood? Right? So the poet thinks that animals are better than humans for being calm and not interfering in the matter of others. Right? The poet further says that these are the reason why he stands still and looks at the animals for a very long time. So here the poet feels more reliant, more happy at home with animals than humans. Move to next paragraph. They do not sweat and whine. Here sweat and whine means they do not cry, they do not complain about their condition. They do not lie awake. Lie awake means they don't work hard in the dark and weep for their sins, and they don't cry, they don't regret for the work for that they had done wrong. And they do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. They don't make me discussing means they don't argue their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with. Here demented means crazy, and the mania of owing things. Owing things means capture the things. So here the poet says that unlike humans, animals don't complain of any misery. They never cry out loud like humans do to show what they have lost. They never stay awake in the night for working hard. Then they never cry in repentance for their wrongdoing. There means that animals are different from human beings because they don't show anger or grief if something wrong happened with them, if something they had done wrongs. For this, they don't lament, they don't regret for that doing. He further says that animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. And he says so because most of the human beings do this. They try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others, and they do so in order to gain popularity among their fellows. So the poet thinks that animals never irritate him by doing such things just to gain some praise from their fellow people. He feels that the animals are not dissatisfied like humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. They are self satisfied. They are self contained. They never run behind worldly things. They never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. And he says that none of them is mad behind owning the worldly things. Understood? So here the poet has presented the quality of satisfaction, and the poet desired to live among the animals. Okay, move to next paragraph. Not one needs to another. Here needs to another means bow down. Nor to his kind, that kind means species. Life thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole world. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me token of myself. Here token means representative or qualities. They evince means evidence them plainly in their possessions. Here possessions means making their own. So here the poet says that he has never seen any animals showing their devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. As we, as human, bow down before our ancestor, before our God, and before the rich people. These qualities are not found among the animals. So they never do so even for their ancestors. They do not show their devotion towards God like humans do. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. But in the society of animals, they never do so. They never give more or less importance to any other animals. Everyone in the animal world is happy. All are equal. They are not like human beings who found themselves the happiest or the saddest person on earth. Right? So further, the poet says that animals are more honest in showing their relations with other animals. Here he wants to say that animals use other animals as their food and they never try to hide this. Whereas human beings show that they have nice and friendly relations with others, though the reality is opposite. The poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards showing their relations with other animals. Okay, right? Understood? Move to next paragraph. I wonder where they get those tokens. Here tokens means qualities. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Negligently means carelessly. So in last paragraph, the poet introspects himself and says that from where the animals got those good qualities, and he further questions himself that where his own good qualities are gone. Did he left them or had carelessly lost them somewhere? So the qualities that were found in human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness and truthfulness, are now seen in animals. So these qualities had been shifted to the animals. Whose were these qualities in the past? These were the qualities in humans. But now it is shifted to animals. He wonders that humans gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to the animals. So very good, interesting poem. Okay, right? I think you have understood this poem well. So students, that is all about the poem, animals. Thank you all of you. Study well. Keep learning.